Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nice to have everybody here. I got it. We're going to cover a fun topic today, along with some other things as we're running through it. We had 1 minute till or two, right on the, we always end up with 3 or 4, and all of a sudden, boom, it happens and people jump in. But there's always that week where they don't jump in. We'll see. But I am excited about starting. So Paula, you and Kelly and Malachy, you guys are all making calls, so that's a good thing. And although this is a level 1 class and we are going to talk about ghosting and what happens in the case of people ghosting us, I want this class today to be a very interactive class as well. Hello, Mr. Hollenden. Nice to have you there. I know you might be on another line. Glad you're here as well.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Anybody do anything exciting this morning? I played tennis. Anybody else do anything else this morning? Anybody hit the gym? Anybody? What did you do, Malachy? You had to do something.
Slept in.
Hey, there you go. That's what college students do. Kelly and Paula, what did you guys do? Make each other coffee? What did you guys do?
I walked my dog.
Yay, yay team. And George
I went for a 3-mile walk.
Oh, good. Good for you. When you're on a 3-mile walk, let's start this. What do you do while you're there? What do you are you on the phone? Are you listening? Are you looking? Are you one with God? What do you do in the 3-hour walk?
A lot of times I'm with God and just hang on just a minute. We're echoing.
Yeah, that's what happened. Well, Paula's
okay, is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on.
No, you're good.
Turn yours down.
I did. Mine's down.
Well, Paula,
we're having issues.
Now we're good. So when you're one, normally when you go, you're one with God. So does that mean really that you're one with God, or does that mean you just sort of go for a walk and periodically something happens and now you find yourself in deep thought?
Just a lot of times, I mean, basically I'll have, I'll talk to God and it's a time for me to pray. And then other times I just am very quiet and just, I just let my thoughts go wherever they want.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk today about a word called intention. What we're going to do for each and every one of us is we're going to try to adjust our intention when it comes to certain things. So for example, how often do you go on those 3-mile walks, Kelly?
Well, a lot of times I'll go on a 6-mile walk and I try to do that a couple times a week, but this morning I didn't have time, so I did 3.
Great. And Paula, how often do you walk the dog?
Oh, every day. I love exercise. So
here's an intention. An intention is when I go on these walks, I'm not going to be one with myself. I'm not going to be one with God. I'm going to be one with Anthony Robbins, or I'm going to be one with Les Brown, or I'm going to be one with Jim Rohn. I am going to listen to personal development information more on my walks than I've ever listened to before. I'm going to go out there with the intention that one of the things I'm going to do is the walk's going to be done like that because I'm going to be so caught up in what I'm listening to. Okay? So one of the things I want to sow into this group is something that'll help you when you're making your calls. And the thing that'll help you most when making calls, assuming you're making them, is your attitude, your confidence, and your strength. And the more personal development you put inside of you, the more positive you are. I'll use an example of that. So as I'm driving down the street and I'm making my phone calls, because I do that regularly while I'm in the car, I use my car time to make calls often. Now, I know with some of you, you're like, but I want to write notes and all that. I'm with you. I'm not arguing that. But when I'm in my car and driving somewhere, I make a decision when I get in the car or before I get in the car, what I want to use the time for in the car. Why do I do that? Because if I don't do that, guess what happens? I lose the time to everything I normally do, which is just walking, and periodically I see daisies, and periodically I hear a dog bark, and periodically I see a car go by, and periodically God and I talk. I'm not against you and God talking. Don't misunderstand me. If you said to me, no, that's my God time. That's when I go. That's when God and I are together. Okay, great. That's not a problem. But that's not what I heard from you. What I heard is, well, sometimes this, sometimes that. What we want to do when we're doing things we don't want to do, I'm going to repeat that again. what we want to do when we're doing things that we don't want to do. And by the way, I categorize making calls things I don't want to do. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means I'd rather not do it. Okay? Lots of things I'd just rather not do. I like mowing the lawn. I like edging. If you ask me, do I like doing it? Yes. Do I look forward to doing it? Yes. However, cleaning up the yard afterwards? No. Okay? So my point is, when you're doing something you want to do, that's awesome. You don't need any help. You don't need any fuel. It's when you're doing things that you just have to remind yourself to do or you don't really want to do. And as much, again, as we talk about agent attraction and making calls and we have fun with it, it's not something we would choose to do as a top 10 thing if we didn't have to do it. And so the intention for everybody is start intending differently. Start picking pockets of time that up until now you have not been using for your benefit. I'm not saying you've been losing it. I'm just saying you haven't been using it for your benefit. So start using that time for your benefit. And the one thing you can always place in any space of time is a personal development audio. There's plenty of them out there, which leads to the next problem. Oh, that sounds like a great idea, Eric. I want to do that. But if I don't have a list of personal development things to listen to, then I'll spend the time figuring out what to listen to. And before I know it, I'm done with my walk and I haven't listened to anything. Does that sound familiar to everybody? So I'm going to recommend in your calendars right now, today, right now, unless you're driving, Tyler and Tara, and hopefully you're feeling better, Tara, but everybody else is sitting in front of me, go into your calendar right now and find a spot where you have 15 minutes today. For Tim, that might be very difficult. Okay, but find 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes, I want you to go onto YouTube and I want you to put the name Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, Anthony Robbins, R-O-B-B-I-N-S, Les Brown, if you like that kind of thing. Here's what I'm going to ask you not to listen to, as motivating as it is. Ready? Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson. You follow me? Let's not go political with it. Let's not go what's going on in the world with it. Let's worry about us. Okay? Not to say you can't listen to those people, because they're awesome to listen to. And they're motivating for some and problematic for others. But the bottom line to it is, the one gift I've gotten that is the single biggest gift I've ever gotten from the MLM space is personal development. The ability for them to hammer me constantly on, you're only as good as you think you are. And most of us really don't think we're that good. We actually act like we are, but we really don't think that we are. Now, there are a couple of us in this grouping that just know we're that good. But if we're not there yet, then I highly recommend using personal development in those placement times. In fact, what I would love to do is I would love, Kim, maybe to have a personal development bucket. And as people listen to things that they really like, they put it in the bucket so somebody else can listen to it. Okay?
We can do that.
We can do that. Anybody got a comment, question about what I'm talking about? Make some sense? Anybody excited about it? Anybody have a problem with it? Go ahead, Paula.
That's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I promise that you'll get better at with ghosting, when your attitude's better, ghosting will bother you less.
Mm-hmm. I know, I think it won't bother me when somebody, but just like that girl the other day who said, you're barking up the wrong tree if you think you're going to recruit me to EXP. I was like, wow, that kind of threw me off, and I wish I could have come back with something really good. Like, okay, she's an owner at Keller Williams, which I found out later, but I'm sure she recruits, right?
Yeah, but okay, what's funny is you just said the statement, I wish I had something to come back with. Let me make a comment. When you make enough phone calls, you'll always have something to come back with.
Yeah.
When your head is in the space, you always have something. Like just now, when you made the comment, the first thing that came out was like when you said, hey, barking up the wrong tree. My answer is, oh my gosh, Sally, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was going to spend, 30 to 45 minutes explaining to you why brokers like you moved to EXP, and you just saved me that time. So I appreciate you doing that. But let me ask this question. Do you even know why brokers like you moved to EXP? And if you ever want to find out, I'll be completely transparent and tell you why all the KW people are coming here. Not all of them, but the ones that are coming, I will tell you why they're coming, because you may not know. But for now, I can see that you're not interested, so that's not a problem. Let's stay in touch. By the way, I don't have a referral partner in your area. Would it be okay if I referred a property to you if I had anybody?
She was too hostile for that.
That's fine. But my point is, that's where I would have gone, right? I mean,
I think she was hostile because she knows a lot of KW people are coming over. A lot of people get their back up.
But if she is a broker or an owner, again, you probably shouldn't be talking to her anyway, unless.
Yeah, that's right. So that's fine.
Getting back to where I was going. So personal development, I was going to put a note in my own file to create something myself. 1 second. Personal development file. Thank you. Because I think I already have a list. What was that?
It's already on my to-do list.
I'm sure it is. Okay. So anybody got something? Let's start with this. We got our good friend Malachy. I thought you had class.
Next week.
Okay. So we got our good friend Malachy back. Those of you that are sick and tired of seeing Malachy, because all he did was set up appointments. And I know who you are. So Malachy decided to take the summer off from us, doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Now he's back. Malachy, I want to tell you, along with everybody else, I'm going to be out of town for about 2 weeks, starting August 30th to September 15th, which means I won't be available for anything from around August 30th till September 15th. So anyone that uses my schedule for anything, realize I won't be available for anything from August 30th to September 15th.
Did you get that approved with us?
That being said, I did not. If things go well, I will interview Glenn Sanford on the 31st, but I'll be in Switzerland when I do that. But let's hope Zoom works properly. With all that said, oh, by the way, do you want some cheaters on what Glenn's going to talk about? He's going to talk about the 4 things he wants residential agents to know about EXP. And then he's going to talk about 2 or 3 things he wants broker owners to know about EXP. And it's going to just go from there. Okay, so it'll be great material for us. By the way, let's do an update. Kim, where are we in relation to the Brent Gove triad? Is it in our CRM Grow?
It is in our CRM Grow, and it's shared with the team.
Perfect. How many of you, actually, you know what? I'm not going to pull it up. It's a 5-minute. So what we did is we put 3 of Brent's answers into a single video. It's 5 minutes, 3 seconds long. And I think I want to play it. Miss Kimmy, can you pull it up? Is that easy?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. So, and then I'll talk about it in a minute. Oh, we got a chat. Let me check what's in the chat. I am here listening. I just don't want to be distracting, looking and moving all over the place. Yes, sir, I am. Okay, perfect. Glad to have you here. And Tyler, glad to have you here as well. I know I'm going to get a chance to meet you, I think, seen you, but meet you in Dallas. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We'll go to dinner together as well. So Malachy, I want to, yeah. What was that, sir?
I was just saying, yeah, thank you. I'm excited to meet you in Dallas as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You got to be better looking than Brian. So come on. So Malachy,
ready.
you ready? But hold on, before you do that, Malachy was gone for about 2.5 months. And I talked him in, it's time to come make calls again because we're back to school. And we got the automation set up, and that was what he was waiting for. So we're going to role play, Malachy and I want everybody to see this real quickly, and we are recording. So we're recording this. I want everybody to hear this. We're recording this at 15 minutes after the hour. So Malachy, you came back. You asked if there was anything different on the script. I said, a little bit minor, whatever. And you said, no problem. You know, boom. Now, in fairness, tell them what you did over the summer. What did you do over the summer, Malachy?
I sold solar panels door to door in Austin, Texas.
How many doors did you knock on?
Hundreds.
How many people did you talk to?
A lot.
How many people didn't want to talk to you?
A lot.
Okay. So he
Majority.
went through all that. Now, how many of you remember Malachy had a pretty good closing ratio before? Anybody remember that? Okay, good. So Malachy decided he'd start making calls again. Malachy, remember your first day making calls back? Remember what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Like the first one, I'd set the appointment.
Okay. And I took this finger, stuck it down this throat, and purged everything in my belly up when he told me that. First call, boom. What did you do the second day, Malachy?
It was like 2 for 3.
Okay. So I want everybody to hear this. I need everybody to hear this. I need everybody to really hear the way Malachy is on the phone. And the reason I want you to hear it is because I want you to hear exactly what he does. Now, again, he's not going to say exactly what he always says because we never do this when we're recording. But I want you to hear this. He memorized the script. He internalized the script, right? And then he personalized the script. But he's not afraid. What's the mindset? When you go to make your calls, Malachy, what is your mindset?
Just kind of see if they're just kind of be relaxed on the call, and just see where the conversation leads to. You know, if they're not interested, okay, they're gonna have to tell me a few times. But if they're interested, then okay, we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, just for fun, since you're sitting there, I'm gonna, Tim, if you don't mind, come on microphone. I'm gonna let Malachy call you and be a regular, normal, whatever. Tim, don't be hard, don't be easy. Just be Tim, real estate agent, whatever. Malachy is gonna call Tim. Tim's gonna respond. Just let the conversation go. I want you to hear the pattern, the flow. Don't worry about the words. I want you to hear the emotion. So Tim, you good with that? Go ahead. Malachy, call Tim. Ring, ring.
All right. Hey, what's going on, Tim? It's Mal with EXP. How are you doing today?
Oh, crazy busy Monday. What's up, man?
Yeah, I hear you. Is the market settling down over there, or is it still busy as hell for you?
It's a great question. It's settled some.
Huh.
We're not having as many multiple offers, and things are staying on the market a little bit longer. But listen, man, I'm super busy. What did you need?
Yeah, I hear you. I'll be quick with you. So as you may or may not know, EXP is exploding, right? There's about 1,000 agents a week coming over. And, you know, I'm not expecting you to change your brokerage or anything. I was just looking at your volume, and I found that it would be ideal for one of our agent programs here at EXP. But I was really calling to just congratulate you, Tim, because you had a really great year over the last year.
I did.
I mean, by the numbers I looked at, you did about what, like 8 million or something like that. I mean, that's pretty good, nonetheless.
I could go down a path, but I won't. No, honestly, I just manage a team. I don't even sell anymore.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But I was really calling to see, Tim, if you've taken a look at our 2022 agent presentation, but more importantly, had it personalized for you. I mean, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it. In fact, EXP approached me about being the broker for Kentucky back in 2010. It's been a while.
Yeah, definitely. So like since 2010, have you seen anything else from EXP, or it's just way back then?
No, just had about 52 phone calls in the last year.
About EXP?
Yeah.
So you've had that many and you haven't joined us yet?
No.
Really? What's holding you back? Because obviously you've had that many phone calls. You got to be at least somewhat remotely interested.
Yeah, not really. I own my own thing. It's hard to beat 100%.
Well, as we got some agents earning over 100%. Have they showed you why?
Oh, that's not possible.
Yeah, it is.
Commission, there's no more than 100 pennies in the dollar.
You're right, but there is other ways to make money, and some of our agents do make over 100% because we have a stock program at EXP. So each time you sell a house, each year you get stock. So just like that, you could get over 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I'd love to show you kind of what that looks like because you've had 52 calls. I'm surprised they haven't told you about that stock program, but you know, what kind of interests you about EXP? So you want to make over 100%. You're already making 100%. I mean, are you paying a lot of fees?
No, I own my own thing.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we can kind of show you what it looks like for you because we have a lot of broker owners, brokerages who come over and we have a special program for them. And we can show you what it looks like on, you know, a quick Zoom, 30, 45 minutes. Does tomorrow at 2 work or Wednesday at 3?
I could do Wednesday, but I've only got 15 minutes at 3. Will that work for you?
Yeah, we'll do it real quick then.
Okay, cool. You got my email, I guess.
Yep. Got your
All
email.
right. I'll see you then.
All right. See you, Tim.
Love when that happens. I'm sitting here the whole time. How many of you are the whole time going, I mean, it's not like a movie where I'm watching it. I'm part of it. I'm like, oh, don't say that. Oh, say that. Oh, that's really good. Is that the way everybody else does, or you sit there and watch? Malachy, is that the, I mean, forget about what he said. Is that your normal call? Is that pretty much how it goes?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? First of all, did he do anything different than anybody else has been taught? Did he do anything different? That's what frustrates me about what Malachy does. He does nothing different. And he gets the results. He gets people on the calendar. Now, here's what I will tell you. There were some uneasy moments in that conversation for me listening to it. Anybody else? Okay, wait, what? Malachy, were you uneasy at all during that call?
I mean, a little bit when he was like, you know, I've gotten 52 calls. I kind of do it on my own. Like, all right. It kind of sounds like just like, why am I talking to you then? You've already talked to 52 people.
Yeah, but my point of the matter is this. Because Malachy's manner is just a manner and just a manner. And then when he goes, how about tomorrow at 2 or Wednesday at 3? They answer. I'm going to ask most of you if you just keep going down the script the way Malachy did, or do you let them throw you off? Everything he said, Malachy said, okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, good. Next thing.
So I do like how he didn't even ask for the appointment really. He just said, so would this day or this day work better?
That's the way we do it.
And so I don't know. I think sometimes I say I'd like to get you on a Zoom so you can hear about the model. I don't know. I like how he just said, you know, which time, and Tim did answer, although I don't know, you know, Tim, what did you,
What would you have done?
Yeah, what else would you have done, Tim?
Well, in that situation, and we didn't discuss who I was that he was calling, but I'd have known more about me before making that call if I had responded like that. I had 1.5 transactions last year. My transactions suck, and I want them to suck. So, but like I said, that's know who you're calling, but that's not a fair thing for Malachy. That's nothing against him because we didn't set the stage. But that's what I would say to each of you is to know who you're calling so you don't get yourself in that trick bag.
Yep.
Look like you're killing it? Heck no, I'm not killing it. I didn't sell anything last year. Must be calling the wrong guy. I find that we're so freaking good on the phone. I think people schedule meetings that they have no intention of ever going to, just to get us off the phone. That's what I did to him. I'm not showing up at 3 o'clock for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd love to have dialogue on that. And I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but make more dials, have more shows.
Well, that's the second, that's really the content of today. They're ghosting me. That's a concept for that. So let's talk
Good
about
segue then, huh?
What was that?
Good segue then, huh?
Good segue. We are gonna cover the Brent Gove thing. I know you got that queued up, but let's stay where we are for a moment. Good job, Malachy, by the way. Here's what we're gonna do. With Malachy coming back, we're gonna chart his percentages, so we know what the no-shows are. But I want everybody to understand this, especially level 1, level 2. I want you to hear this. Our goal is to set an appointment. If we start setting appointments and people don't show up, then our goal will be to get better. But the first goal is to set appointments. And if you're not setting appointments, then getting better about setting appointments is what you should focus on. So Paula, you just picked up something very, very interesting. I don't say things that don't generally need to be said. I try not to. I don't try to put distance between me and the result. The distance for me is I want to get, why am I picking up the phone to set an appointment? The only reason you're calling people is to set an appointment. The only reason I'm making a phone call is to set an appointment. The only reason I made an attraction is to set an appointment. If that's my goal, then that has to be the governing thought. That has to be the governing thought of my conversation. Now, how do I do that? I do that by finding out if they're interested or making them curious. The two ways to get them to agree to an appointment is they are either interested or curious. So if we're building the pyramid now, we're building this pyramid of how to get to the results. The pyramid, and I'm not talking about MLM pyramid, so the pyramid structure of how to get to a result. It starts with, I make calls to set an appointment. The reason I'm calling them initially is to find out if they're interested or I'm going to make them curious. They're either interested or I'm going to make them curious. I keep saying that because I want you to hear this. Hey, would you be, have you seen it? By the way, Paula, as you're going through the conversation, hey, as you know, EXP is exploding everywhere. I'm not asking you to change brokerages, but I am sort of curious because I looked up your volume and your volume's ideal for one of our programs. And I don't know if you know this or not, but we're adding, and by the way, we now need to be saying this because we're not adding 1,000 agents a week anymore. No one is. It's slowed down for everybody. And so, but I still feel comfortable saying we've been adding 500 to 1,000 agents every week since the beginning of the year, because that's a fair statement. Okay. And so I'm really just calling to see if you have actually seen our 2022 presentation. More importantly, had someone personalize it for you. Tim, have you actually seen it? Based on that answer and how they answer, they're either interested or I got to make them curious. It's based on how they answer. Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, no, I haven't means I'm interested. That's, oh, no, I haven't. Right? Now, if they followed up with, oh, no, I haven't, and I never will, then I immediately know they're not interested. I got to get them to curious. How do I get them to curious? The way I go to curious is you got to be interested in knowing. And I may not ask this right away, but look, there's 500 to 1,000 agents coming to the company. You've been around the industry for 17 years. You've got to be curious to know why they're coming. I'll reiterate this. And I say that. Okay, again, let me reiterate. I don't care if you change brokerages. What I do care is someone with your background, selling the kind of real estate you have, you're going to be doing something for the next 3 years. And I'm okay if you don't do it with us. I want to make sure you're okay. And I'm sure you'd be fine where you are. It's no matter how good. I'm going to recommend you just take a look at what other agents are looking at. Let me show it to you in a way that'll make sense to you. I can do that either later today at whatever or tomorrow at whatever. See, Paulo, what I did? I created a curiosity post and then went for a meeting. I said, you know what? With your volume, many agents that do 4 million are either interested in doing 6 or 8, starting a team, or if they come to EXP, some of them are looking to make the same kind of money without as many sales. Are any of those things interesting to you? Well, of course, all of them would be. Well, great. Let me show you those things when I show you the presentation. That's what's in it for you. See, I created the curiosity. Might follow that? Anybody have any questions or comments about what Malachy did? Anybody else? Or what I'm saying?
And so Malachy got the appointment based on the 15-minute presentation versus the 30. And, I know we all do things differently on that, but like last week I had somebody on the presentation with Eric and he did 30 minutes. And, it was so nice. And I know everybody's different, but it was quick, and he got to the point of the important things. Sometimes I just think it's so long. I don't know. I go back and forth,
You know how long that one lasted, Paula? 37 minutes.
Yeah.
It went over 30.
Okay. 37.
But that's not what's keeping people from getting on. Let's stay with where we are. What we need to do is set appointments. What Malachy showed you is how we set appointments by not asking if they are open for an appointment. We're just going to ask them for the appointment. By asking them for the appointment, they're going to tell us if they're open or not. We don't have to ask them. When they say, no, this week's bad for me, that means they are interested. If they say, no, I'm not really that interested, then they're not that interested. And that's when I default to the 9-minute. And sometimes I go back twice to try to get them live, but I'm at a point now where if they're not interested, I'm just going to push the 9 minutes, send them in an automation and go to the next person. Because I'm not in the convincing business. I'm not in the business to change their minds. Now, Malachy said something earlier that I want you to remember. He said, sometimes I have to hear no a couple of times. I'll paraphrase. He goes through that process, but it's how they say no. It's how they say no. Let me stay on the subject. Tim, you had a statement.
I was gonna say, and this is no slam to Malachy whatsoever because he's successful, but I'd like you to speak to tonality and enthusiasm because there wasn't a lot of either in everything that he said.
Malachy does not have enthusiasm. What he does have is tonality. Because he'll say something in an in-your-face way that he can get away with. I've heard him do it. He'll say, well, wouldn't you think you should look at it first before making an opinion? But he can say it because he's not in your face. I've heard him say it. I've heard him say, yeah, you don't have to look at it, but a lot of agents like you are moving to the company. And because he's matter-of-factly, they don't come at him the same way. Now, with that said, I'm a fan of enthusiasm. I'm not always a fan of enthusiasm necessarily with the cold contact, because I just got to figure out where they are. And sometimes our enthusiasm caught at the wrong time backfires. Now, with that said, 10 foot tall and bulletproof is better than relaxed. I agree that the more emotion you have, the better chance you have of hooking them with your emotion. Agree 100%. But it works for Malachy. And Tim covered that well. So I'm going to move off this point real quick. Tara, you come on to add something? You just came on to say hi. Okay. Anybody else on this subject? But thank you, Malachy, for jumping on. Thank you for being regular, because that's what you are. You're just doing it the right way, and you're getting better doing that. By the way,
I got a comment.
Go ahead, Brian.
I could. You know what? I think, like Tim, he set the appointment saying, well, he set the appointment to get off the call because he knows he's not going to show up. I think, at least for me, my success rate of them showing up for that appointment stands in that phone call where I've built a little bit more of a relationship, with them. In most cases, obviously the curiosity and stuff, I mean, that comes with it, but it seems like when I've connected with them, on a level, I've had more of those people show up to a Zoom than the ones that ghost, that just set an appointment to get me off the phones. And sometimes you can feel that, when they do that to you, or at least I can anyway. And I don't know if the rest of you, get that same feeling or not, but back to your point, Eric, I mean, doing the things that you do, I think that, that just enhances your chances of, making that Zoom, obviously. And that's what I've seen for me.
Yep, true.
So let's start with this. Let's build that pyramid again in concept. The first thing we got to make sure is we're getting good at setting appointments. The second thing we have to get good at is making sure that they don't ghost us. But that's a second piece. If you're not setting appointments, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Okay. So let's set appointments and then let's come back for improvement. Remember, that's the habit we're always working on, the habit of improvement, right? We had a habit of intention earlier today. Now we have a habit of improvement that's constant. So let me take a quick break from this. I want to close out with ghosting in a few minutes. I want to show you something. So we put Brent Gove's videos together, 1, 2, 3 together. I'm going to make a comment about the videos once we're done, but I want you to pretend for the moment, 5 minutes, pretend that you are an agent with your background. You have some knowledge of EXP, good, bad, or indifferent, and all of a sudden someone sent you this and they said, hey, I want to have a 5-minute EXP discussion and we won't talk about it for the rest of the year unless you want to. Would that be okay with you? So yeah, that'd be fine with me. Great. I want you to watch 3 clips in that 5 minutes. At the end of it, if you have interest, we'll talk. And if not, we'll push it till next quarter after that. Is that okay with you? Yep. Suppose someone called you and said that. Okay. Kim, you want to take it away? We've seen meteoric rises in new brokerages, first Remax and of course KW. And tell us why the future of real estate is all EXP at this point.
So Remax exploded in the 90s when you could buy a home for $500. Mark, I mean, any home in California, pool, whatever, $500, unbelievable. And they were like 100 grand. In the next correction, which started in 05 in California, 07, 08, the rest of the nation, Keller Williams exploded.
Yeah, move your
obvious choice was Remax in the 90s. Obvious choice was Keller Williams. We are the obvious choice for this correction. You're going to watch our company go $250,000 just like that.
It's funny because EXP is so well known as the recruiting company. You know, Keller Williams has been doing it since '83, but we're known as the recruiting company. What's interesting is only about 10% of us really even focus at all on recruiting. 90% of us come here because it's a better place to transact and it's a better place to revitalize our career.
Right. So I think Keller Williams, Remax was known as the recruiting company because that's how they grew so fast. Then Keller Williams was absolutely known. Oh God, the Keller Williams Kool-Aid, don't drink the Kool-Aid. They're just a bunch of recruiters. It's a pyramid. When I was at Remax and a star at Remax, everybody talked about Keller Williams. Oh my gosh, it's just a pyramid. Yeah, that's what they would say about it. They called Keller Williams a pyramid. And what it is you get negative, crotchety, old, grumpy, burned out, exhausted agents. They don't even know they're exhausted. They're like, oh my God, I got called from 3 Keller Williams agents this year. Every time I talk to one, they're like, hey, you want to check out Keller Williams? And so everyone who's growing, people take shots at them. Microsoft went through it. Google went through it, Facebook, Intel, Uber, they take shots. We're going, it just, it comes with the course. But so we also are known as that because we are the deal. We're the deal. And then the sales managers in the front, oh my God, they're just recruiting. It's a pyramid. They say every horrible thing. And so their rank and file, here's that. Oh, it's just a pyramid. It's recruiting. But you got to get through that. You got to get that. It's actually agent owned. They actually share revenues with all the agents. It's a multi-billion-dollar company sharing revenues, owned by the agents, built, created by agents for the agents.
You were an
And
incredibly successful real estate leader. You were selling property, you were leading groups, leading teams, and guiding agents. And all of a sudden you come across EXP. And one of the aspects of EXP is you can actually attract other agents to the company, and you decide you have no time to do that, but you're going to make time to do that. And of course, a few years later, unbelievable stories are being said about Brent Gove and what you've done in the agent attraction world. So how did you start out?
I set aside 3 hours every Friday, 2 to 5, to call agents that I knew. And I had appointments one a day: coffee Monday morning at 7:30, breakfast Tuesday morning at 9, lunch Wednesday at noon, early dinner at 4:30 or 5 on Thursday. Fridays I golfed, and then I might do a breakfast appointment at 7, and then a coffee at 10 on Saturday. But then I did real estate all the other time. All I did was recruiting. All I did was real estate. 90% of what I did was real estate. And I love real estate. And I recruited this, but let me tell you this. I'll end with this. I'll give it back to you, Eric. Listen to me. During the 5 months where I sponsored 25 people because I put in massive action, you go show it 30 times in the next 30 days. Well, everyone's heard of it. The enemy is the enemy. Get that out of your dang mind. I went to Keller Williams after 9 years of hearing it. So what? Everyone's heard it. It's good. Don't confuse that. Show it 30 times in the next 30 days. You'll sponsor 5 like me. And at the end of 5 months, you'll sponsor 25 like me. And then you're done. I haven't even tried to do it. They just come to me. Every year I sign up 20, every year without trying. I planted so many seeds. It's like snow skiing every day for 30 days. So I'll end with this. In that 5-month period, I listed 25 homes. What I get paid today for that is nothing. What I get paid for the 25 agents I listed is millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. It's incredible. And so, man, play the long game. The short game, well, I'm just going to focus on my sales. That's great. If you have bills to pay, you should. Turn off Netflix, turn off Hulu and Amazon, go work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week until you can feed your children. Why should you take a day off? If you can't feed your children, do not take a day off. I mean, if you literally can't feed your kids, what do you take a day off? You can't feed your kids. Work 7 days a week for 2-3 weeks and then go back to 6 days a week. And when you can, go to 5 days a week. Real estate will expand all the time you give it. It's a little monster. So put it in a box. Okay.
So unshare, here we go. So in concept, if someone will watch that 5 minutes and they don't want to talk to me, they're not a prospect. So the short game for some of us is to get your ghost people to watch that 5 minutes.
So
Right?
are we putting on CRM?
It's in
Grow.
CRM Grow. Kim,
Is it?
how do we grab it?
It's in the materials section, materials library for the team. You just grab it. It's called Brent Gove Thoughts on EXP.
Thank you.
Kim, do we have a template that we created for it? You don't have one. You haven't created one. I sent you one from mine. So maybe we should do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess we're in the process versus the 9-minute video. Is it just
Again, it's a brand new video. I'm using it as a satisfaction for ghosting.
Okay.
People have been ghosting me for a while.
right? Okay, perfect.
We don't have to talk about EXP for the rest of the year, but will you watch 5 minutes? Right? So ghosts occur because people get busy. It's not they don't want to see EXP. And it might be that Tim's blowing me off, but here's the truth. If Tim says to me, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll do 15 minutes. Here's the truth. Tim, you said you made that appointment to get off the phone, but you wouldn't show up. Would you really not show up? Are you the kind of person, if you set the appointment, would you really not show up? Or is that what people just do?
No, that's just what people do, I think.
What would you do? Would you set a 15-minute appointment and not
I'd
show up?
Yeah,
Show
I fulfill my commitments. Absolutely.
There you go. So I want everybody to know, I deal with people based on what they tell me. If someone tells me they're going to be there 15 minutes, I assume they're going to be there 15 minutes. And when they're not there, I need to know what I'm going to do. So one of the things I'm going to do is try to get them back in front of it. We've got an automation funnel to do that. Video requested. 90 days later, they've gotten a whole bunch of stuff. We also now have another asset. You have it. It's called the Brent Gove Thoughts on EXP. You've got it. 5 minutes long. And I think it tells a really clean story for people that want to be open-minded. Right? Kim, I think I want to make one adjustment to it. We'll talk about it after.
Hey, Eric, are you, so when I have somebody ghost me that morning, like on a video, I'll pick up my phone, I send them a video and say, hey, I know things, life happens, you're probably busy with real estate and, hey, I just wanted to connect with you. We missed our appointment and I wanted to see if we can reconnect. And that's what I send them.
And what is the response when you do that normally?
Same thing, typically. I mean, not always, but some of them have reached back out, say, hey, yeah, I was busy. And then they're still interested. And then you can go down that path, right?
The majority of people that ghost you, you're not going to grab them right back in front of the program. It just is the way it works. People that ghost you on Tuesday are more likely to ghost you on Friday. They're more likely to ghost you the next week. People that show up on Tuesday are more likely to show up on Thursday. People repeat what they normally do because that's who they normally are. I can promise you, we spend most of our time, we have a leadership call on Zoom on Friday between Jeff, Kathy, Tim, Sean, and myself. We spend most of our time talking about people that are ghosting us. It happens to all of us. When I say most of our time to try to fix it. We're handling other things through the meeting. But I want everybody to know this. It's part of what we do. What I want to make sure you understand with ghosting is it's part of what we do, but we can get better. And one of the things we get better at is figuring out other tools to get in front of them. And here's the other thing. I think I can send a 5-minute clip out via text versus email. Someone will watch something for 5 minutes on their phone or on their handheld, and that's okay with me. Where I don't want them to watch the 9-minute that way, I don't mind them watching Brent that way. And Kim,
I think
go ahead.
I think it's important to, think about why we ghost people. I mean, I sit there and think about, I know there's a guy in particular right now that I've been ghosting and not really intentional, and I think about why I'm doing it. And it's because I am somewhat interested, but just not right now.
It's not a priority.
So I don't want to, I don't want to tell him no because it's not no, and we have talked, but it's just like, I'm just not ready right now, but I know in my mind, and then he'll send me things occasionally and I will look at them. And, sometimes it sparks my attention a little more. So it's, I am going to get back with him just, when it's good for me.
Okay, so think about that mindset. I am going to get back with him when it's good for me. So why can't we make the assumption that the people that are ghosting us are feeling the same way?
Well, I think that, and that's what I'm trying to do is think about why I do it. I think, because when I'm totally not interested, I won't hesitate to tell you, what, I am not interested. Thanks for calling, but that's just, it's not for me.
What's this guy's first name? Make up one.
Well, I was trying to find the Jeff.
Jeff. So if Jeff texted you today and said, hey, I know you've been busy. I know you're interested and you've been busy. Would you like me to reach back out to you next week or maybe towards the middle of September? If he said that to you, what would you not respond or would you respond with an answer?
I respond because he just did that to me last Friday. I was trying to look back at, because he had sent me something and he said, happy Friday, you went missing in action because I didn't respond. And so then I did feel compelled to answer because I don't want to be just flat out rude. So, but I totally forgot to answer him. And so, you know, I said something to him and I said we could touch base in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but
So-
again, one of the things to remember is if they're interested, then they're interested. Right? If they're interested, then they're interested. If they're not, then they're not. And if you ask somebody, hey, would you like to, I know you've been busy over the summer. We haven't been able to connect. Again, what to do when they ghost you. Send them a message giving them some options. Ones that you would respond to if you were interested and just not prioritize. So when I send out the Brent Gove thing, I say in my text, would you be open? Watch this quickly. Let me know whether you're interested in talking in the next week or so. Would you like me to reach out to you in a month or so, or respond with whatever you'd like? Right? Let them respond. And if they don't respond, I assume they ghosted me again. I don't assume they're not interested. But that's an example of something we can do with people to see if they're still engaged by getting them to connect. And we do that by giving them an option that you think is an acceptable option for them, which would be, hey, if timing's not good right now with the summer ending, would you rather me reach out to you in September, maybe later in September, or maybe November? Which would be better for you? And they'll respond if they want to. And at least if they do, it tethers them back to you. When they say November, I say, great. I may send you something once a month just to keep you updated. They'll say, fine. Okay? If they're not interested, they will tell you, I am not interested. And if they don't tell you, I am not interested, then I assume they're interested, just busy. We are running down the final time frames. I got to jump off about 4 minutes early to do another Zoom on my own other line. Anybody have a question before we close out? I got a couple closing comments. Anything? No. Sean, you got anything? It's okay today. You got anything at all you want me to cover? Anything you were asking about?
Yeah, I think all I was going to do is comment, Paula, on anybody that even if ghosts you, if you're going to call back and leave them a message, remember they're all out trying to produce. They're doing transactional volume. That's the most important thing to them. I would also leave with that. Say, listen, I know you got tied up today. You're probably out busy with a client doing the same thing I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I just had a phenomenal mastermind this morning. Yeah, whatever it was. Say, I was thinking about you. I know you're out there beating the streets just like I am. And I'm going to shoot this over to you in email. It has had a massive impact on me. I think it's going to help me grow my volume. Go back to what is it that everybody really cares about? Transactional volume. Send that stuff to them, invite them, and continue to talk about everything you could do to help them increase production, not talking about EXP. And let that be the way you kind of come back in. All I know is ever since we've been doing this, you guys, and I'm dripping those Tuesdays, inviting them and then send them out on Wednesday. My last 3 people that have joined, I honestly think that is the main reason they've come aboard. The Freedom Team, dripping on them, camaraderie, getting together, and all talking about production and masterminds. So that'd just be my 2 cents there. Instead of always just trying to set the meeting, what can we do to give them value, give them value, give them value? They're going to want to come back to the meeting at some point.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Really good. So it starts with, hey man, I'm sure, hey, on the phone or a text, I know you're slammed with production. I want to remind you that we will get back together to talk about EXP, but we're doing an open format every Tuesday about I want more transactions now. I want to invite you to come any Tuesday, no obligation, just come. We've got a lot of non-EXP agents joining. They're getting great stuff. So here's the link on that. And hey, as far as EXP is concerned, would you like to talk about that maybe next month, or do you want to wait 90 days? Right? I mean, again, I agree with what you said. Just move it ahead that way. I am going to close out in a minute. Anybody got a question, comment before we close? Don't forget, Tim and I are doing presentations on Wednesday, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., same link, Eastern time. We had better numbers last week. Bring some people this week. outside of that, here's my last point with ghosting. If you're accumulating more and more people that are ghosting, that means you're doing more work. It is impossible for that bucket not to get bigger. And we will have things for that bucket. But I want you to understand, ghosting doesn't mean no. No means no. Ghosting means I'm interested, but you haven't got my full attention right now. I'm focused elsewhere. So ask them, hey, I'm thinking you're not, I thought you were interested in, I don't think you're blowing me off. I think you're just busy. Am I right? Are we going to be able to circle the wagons again on this at some point in the near future? Let them respond. All you're looking for is a dialogue. When it comes to ghosting, you're looking for any response at all without begging. It's got to be strength on your side. Hey, we are doing quite well. I'm doing quite well with my agent attraction. Just want to know when I should properly follow up with you. Would you like a phone call sometime maybe in the middle of September, or you want to wait until November? You'll get one that says never would be soon enough. Okay. Right? I mean, I might send back, do you believe in multiple lives? But I mean, I wouldn't really do that. But so with that said, here's what I want to do Thursday for those of you that come in on Thursday. It's going to be a deep dive on you. I'm telling you up front. Now, you don't have to participate. But with everybody Thursday, my goal on Thursday is to move the people there on Thursday to come looking for something and leave with it. Now, again, if you just want to hear other people's, come join us. But I am going to do some deep dives with what is going on, what's not working, what is working. Let's do more of that, and let's set a goal for the next week so you're busy. Okay? Wednesday, you know that. Any of your agents that are just floundering but are motivated, get them to our concierge hour on Tuesday and Thursday. Anyone that wants CRM Grow information, get them the concierge hour on Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to get Brent Gove's information from the EXP Freedom Team. Kim, we do have to create a quick template for that. We can talk about that. And I think that's it for me. I got to jump. Anybody else? Anything? Go ahead, Brian. Anything? We good? Cool. Malachy, thanks for your information today. George, nice to have you here. We're going to do a deep dive on Thursday. Talk to you soon.
Have a great day. Thanks, guys.